صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء. اتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. وبعد، أيها الإخوة، أسأل الله العظيم رب العرش الكريم أن يجعل هذا اللقاء لقاء مباركا، وأن ينفع به الجميع، وأن يسددنا جميعا في الأقوال والأعمال، إنه سميع مجيب. ثم لتعلموا بارك الله فيكم أن خير ما تقضى فيه الأعمار وتنقضي فيه الأوقات هو تحصيل العلم النافع والاشتغال به ليثمر عملا صالحا مباركا. فإذا ما كان العبد قد وفق لتحصيل هذا العلم النافع الذي أثمر عملا صالحا، فتلك والله منة عظمى ونعمة كبرى من الله بها عليه، ودليل على أن الله أراد به خيرا. وفي الصحيحين أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من يرد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. أخرج هذا الحديث الشيخان من حديث معاوية رضي الله تعالى عنه. قال الحافظ النووي في شرح مسلم على هذا الحديث: فيه فضيلة العلم والتفقه في الدين والحث عليه، وسببه أنه قائد إلى تقوى الله عز وجل. انتهى كلامه رحمه الله. وأخرج الأئمة أبو داود والنسائي أبو داود والترمذي وابن ماجه وأحمد وغيرهم من حديث أبي الدرداء رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام قال: من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة، وإن الملائكة لتضع أجنحتها لطالب العلم رضا بما يصنع، وإن العالم لا يستغفر له من في السماوات ومن في الأرض حتى الحيتان في الماء، وفضل العالم على العابد كفضل القمر على سائر الكواكب، وإن العلماء ورثة الأنبياء، وإن الأنبياء لم يورثوا دينارا ولا درهما، وإنما ورثوا العلم، فمن أخذه أخذ بحظ وافر. وهو حديث حسن. والإمام ابن القيم رحمه الله له شرح عظيم لهذا الحديث في كتابه النافع الماتع مفتاح دار السعادة. وقد ذكر رحمه الله كلاما مفاده أن الطريق التي يسلكها إلى الجنة هي جزاء على سلوكه في الدنيا طريق طلب العلم. الطريق التي يسلكها إلى الجنة جزاء على سلوكه في الدنيا طريق طلب العلم الموصلة إلى رضا الله جل وعلا، ووضع الملائكة أجنحتها له تواضعا وتوقيرا وإكراما لما يحمله من ميراث النبوة ويطلبه، وهو يدل على المحبة والتعظيم. ومن محبة الملائكة له وتعظيمه تضع أجنحتها له، لأنه طالب لما به حياة العالم ونجاته. فليس هو يطلب ما يحيا به فقط، وإنما ما به حياة العالم ونجاته. هذه مناقب عظيمة وفضائل كبرى لمن حصل هذا العلم النبوي الشريف وأخلص فيه لله جل وعلا. فهذا العلم لا يدرك إلا بتوفيق من الله وإعانته وتسديده، وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة. فاحرص يا عبد الله على أن تحقق هذا الأمر العظيم، أعني الإخلاص لله في تحصيل هذا العلم النبوي الشريف. ولا يلقى هذا ولا يوفق إليه إلا من أخلص لله جل وعلا وراقبه في أحواله كلها. قال الإمام حماد بن سلمة كما أخرج ذلك ابن عبد البر في جامع بيان العلم وفضله، والخطيب في الجامع لأخلاق الراوي، قال الإمام حماد: من طلب الحديث لغير الله مكر به، أي لم يخلص لله جل وعز مكر به. وأخرج الإمام الدارمي في سننه أن الإمام إبراهيم النخعي قال: من ابتغى شيئا من العلم يبتغي به وجه الله آتاه الله منه ما يكفيه، أي أعانه وسدده ووفقه وألهمه رشده. الإخلاص أيها الأحبة منزلته عظيمة، وهو ركن أساس لقبول العمل مع الاتباع لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. ومما يجب الانتباه له أن الإخلاص لله جل وعلا يورث الفهم عن الله. الإخلاص لله جل وعلا في هذه العبادة، أعني في طلب العلم وتحصيله والعمل بالعلم، يورث الفهم عن الله جل وعلا. وقد أخرج الحافظ الخطيب في اقتضاء العلم العمل عن الحافظ أبي عبد الله الرزباري أنه قال: العلم موقوف على العمل، والعمل موقوف على الإخلاص، والإخلاص لله يورث الفهم عن الله عز وجل. والإخلاص لله يورث الفهم عن الله عز وجل. انتهى كلامه. إذن يجب أن تعلم أهمية الإخلاص، لأن ذلك يورث الفهم عن الله، ويجب أن تعتني به في كل دقيق أمورك وجليلها. ثم لتعلموا بارك الله فيكم أن الفهم والإدراك مهم جدا. ويقول الإمام ابن القيم رحمه الله في إعلام الموقعين: صحة الفهم وحسن القصد من أعظم نعم الله عز وجل على العبد، بل ما أعطي عبد عطاء بعد الإسلام أفضل ولا أجل منهما، يعني من صحة الفهم وحسن القصد، بل هما ساقا الإسلام وقيامه عليهما، وبهما يأمن العبد طريق المغضوب عليهم. لماذا؟ قال: الذين فسد قصدهم، وطريق الضالين الذين فسدت فهومهم. ويصير من المنعم عليهم الذين حسنت أفهامهم وقصودهم، وهم أهل الصراط المستقيم الذي أمرنا أن نسأل الله تعالى أن يهدينا صراطهم في كل صلاة. انتهى كلامه، أي في قول المرء في كل صلاة فريضة أم نفلا: اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الذين أنعم عليهم سبحانه وتعالى هم من حسنت أفهامهم وقصودهم. هذا الفهم أيها الأحبة تتفاوت فيه مراتب الناس والأمة. قال الإمام ابن القيم رحمه الله: وتفاوت الأمة في مراتب الفهم عن الله وعن رسوله لا يحصيه إلا الله، ولو كانت الأفهام متساوية لتساوت أقدام العلماء في العلم. ولما خص الله سبحانه وتعالى سليمان بفهم الحكومة في الحرث، ولما خص الله سبحانه وتعالى سليمان بفهم الحكومة في الحرث، وقد أثنى عليه وعلى داود في العلم والحكم. انتهى كلامه. يريد أن يقول أن الأفهام مراتب، الأفهام عن الله وعن رسوله مراتب، وهذه مراتب عظيمة وكثيرة لا يحصيها إلا الله. والأفهام لو كانت متساوية لتساوت العلماء جميعا ولما كان بينهم تباين. واستدل على ذلك ما خص الله به سليمان عليه السلام بفهم الحكومة في الحرث، مع أنه جل وعلا أثنى على سليمان وعلى داود في العلم والحكم. ومع هذا خص سليمان بفهم الحكومة في الحرب. ويقول رحمه الله: المقصود تفاوت الناس في مراتب الفهم للنصوص، وأن منهم من يفهم من الآية حكما أو حكمين، ومنهم من يفهم منها 10 أحكام أو أكثر من ذلك، ومنهم من يقتصر في الفهم على مجرد اللفظ دون سياقه ودون إيمائه وإشارته وتنبيهه واعتباره. وأخص من هذا وألطف، يعني في الفهوم والمدارك، مع هذا كله أخص من هذا وألطف ضمه إلى نص آخر متعلق به، فيفهم من اقترانه به قدرا زائدا أي من الأحكام على ذلك اللفظ بمفرده. وهذا باب عجيب في فهم القرآن لا يتنبه له إلا النادر من أهل العلم، فإن الذهن قد لا يشعر بالارتباط بهذا وتعلقه به. يريد أن يقرر رحمه الله ما سبق من أن الأفهام متفاوتة، أن البعض قد يستنبط حكما والآخر حكمين من آية واحدة، وآخر يستنبط 10 أحكام وبعضهم أكثر. وأخص من هذا وألطف من يجمع ذلك الحكم وتلك الأحكام إلى أحكام أخر واستدلالات أخرى، فيضم هذا إلى هذا ليستخرج حكما زائدا وقدرا أكثر على اللفظ الذي ورد. وهذا باب عجيب في فهم القرآن لا يتنبه له إلا النادر من العلماء كما قال رحمه الله. إذن يا إخوتاه، من حصل ذلك علم الخير الذي جمعه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في حديث معاوية آنف الذكر: من يرد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. فالأمر يحتاج إلى صبر وإلى تؤدة، وقبل ذلك إلى إخلاص وتدرج فيه والصبر على تحمله. قال النووي رحمه الله في مقدمة المجموع: من لم يصبر على ذل التعلم بقي عمره في عماية الجهل، ومن صبر عليه آل أمره إلى عز الآخرة والدنيا. الصبر أيها الإخوة في تحصيل العلم مع الإخلاص لله جل وعلا والانتباه والفهم والاستنان بهدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يورث الفقه في الدين. أسأل الله العظيم رب العرش الكريم أن يوفقنا وإياكم لما فيه الفقه في الدين، وأن يسددنا جميعا في الأقوال والأفعال، إنه جواد كريم. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Bismillah. Just ask the brothers just to pardon me for my voice today. It's a little messed up. So Sheikh, he starts off by saying khutbat al-haja inna alhamdulillah, to the end of it, by sending praise upon Allah Ta'ala, and also sending these salutations upon the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And he asks that he makes this liqa, this sitting, blessed, and that he also asks that Allah Ta'ala, that he makes it mukhlis, sincere and genuine for him subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, oh, ya ma'ish al-ikhwa. Ya ma'ish al... Just in the sound. Ya ma'ish al-ikhwa. He said, لِتَعْلَمُوا. He said, let the people realize. He said that the greatest of ni'am, the greatest of virtues, and the greatest of blessings, and the greatest of what a person can spend his time and utilize his age and utilize his life, he says, is attaining beneficial knowledge. And also on busying himself with it. He says, but verily it will bring forth the fruits of righteous actions. He said, verily, that if the one attains tawfiq from Allah, when that tawfiq in which he's speaking about is that Allah give him success to attain knowledge, what will come as a result of it, like we mentioned, is that it will bear the fruits of righteous actions. He said the biggest of blessings, he says, rather a ni'matul kubra, or ni'matul uzma, he said the greatest and the most tremendous of blessings, and the most greatest of those fada'il, those virtues, is that Allah Ta'ala bestow understanding to the abd, give him understanding in the religion. Giving him fahm, correct understanding. Correct understanding, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only bestows it upon certain people. As we know the hadith that comes on the authority of Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu, where the Prophet said, "May yuridillahu bihi khayran yufaqihu fi ddin." Whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants good for, He will give him understanding of the religion. And as we know, Ya ma'ashal ikhwa, this hadith on the authority of Muawiyah, that Al-Imam An-Nawawi, rahimahullah, that he said that this hadith, he says that in it is a tremendous virtue. That Allah Ta'ala, don't worry everyone, anything I miss I'm going to translate it in so it can be, everything can be, I'm going to translate it again. There was some little small things that I missed, but inshallah I had the majority of it. Anyway, Al-Imam An-Nawawi, that he said that this hadith, that he said it has a lot of virtues in it. He said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bestow upon the slave tafahum wa tafaqquh. In it, number one, that you'll find the encouragement for knowledge. That's number one. And number two, that Allah, and also the encouragement of it and trying to attain it, and that Allah Ta'ala, from His greatest of blessings that He bestows upon a slave, if He really wants good for him, is that He will allow him to have a good understanding and a correct understanding and an understanding that is on point. Also it comes in Sunnah Abi Dawood, in the Nasa'i, in the Tirmidhi, with Imam Muslim, and also Ahmad and other than him. Also the hadith of Abu Darda, that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, that tremendous hadith. Whoever traverses a path, seeking in it the knowledge, or seeking in it knowledge for Allah Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala will facilitate for him and make easy for him the road to paradise. And we know that this hadith, also likewise the other part where it says, he says, verily everything in the heavens and the earth, that it seeks forgiveness, and it makes dua for the abd, or for the slave, when he's seeking knowledge. To the point where even the angels, that they put their wings, they envelop and put their wings to the slave out of pleasure of what he's doing. Even, as we know, the stars, or everything in the heavens and the earth, even the fish in the sea, likewise, they supplicate for him. Supplicating for him and asking Allah Ta'ala to forgive him. He says, and you'll find, like we said in the last part of the hadith, for verily the ulama, or the fadl al-alim ala al-abid, ka fadl al-qamar ala sa'ir al-kawakib, as it says in the narration, wa fadl al-alimi ala al-abidi laylat al-badr ka najum, I thought somebody was going to say something. Verily the fadl of the alim, or the virtue of the scholar, over the rest of the slaves is like the comparison to the moon for the rest of the stars on the time or on the night where the moon is full. And verily the scholars are the warathatul anbiya. Verily the scholars, they are the inheritors of the prophets. And they did not leave any dirham or any money or any wealth. They only left knowledge. And whoever takes it, then they have attained a tremendous, great portion. As we know, this hadith is Hasan. Listen to what Ibn al-Qayyim that he mentions says in this regard. In this tremendous sharh, they explain this hadith. In that tremendous book that he says is entitled Al-Kitaab Al-Mumti' Al-Mati' Dar Miftah Dar Al-Sa'ada. The book that's entitled The Key That Opens the Place of Sa'ada, the place of happiness, meaning Jannah. What is the key? When he brought this speech in this book, this tremendous book called Miftah Dar Al-Sa'ada, he brought the speech that necessitates this, or explained in this hadith, where he said when a person embarks knowledge and he goes in the path trying to seek it, he says it is a tariq, or is a path in which one, when he embarks upon it, he says what will come as a result of it, he will attain that repayment due to his embarking this type of path where something is facilitated for him easy in this world. Meaning Allah Ta'ala will give him success and tawfiq to allow him to attain it and open the door up for him, whereas the tariq, or the path of the talb al-ilm, where as a result of it, it will lead him to the pleasure of Allah. And likewise, you'll find from the virtue of the hadith that the angels, that they put their wings to the student of knowledge out of humbleness and out of honor and out of reverence for what he's doing. Why? Because he's trying to attain what is something tremendous, which is the inheritance of the prophets, which is an indication of the angels loving him, because he's trying to attain inheritance of what the prophets left. So the angels putting their wings is an indication for them loving what he's doing out of honor, respect, and reverence. So they put their wings for him, in which it will come as a result of it, he will attain salvation and success, and he will be saved from, in which we know in the hereafter, of what a person fears. He says, we know that knowledge, that it brings life. It gives life to the people who are dead, or brings life to the people who are in a state of, if you want to say for well-being, where they're not in a state of well-being, where it gives life to their hearts. And to the end of what Ibn al-Qayyim that he mentions, it says, is this last part I did not get. He said, for the person, also likewise, for a person to attain true understanding, and if he also wants to attain what they call idrak, like he wants to attain that correct type of acknowledgement, and that what he want, isti'ab, or him having a good understanding and a good comprehension. One has to realize good understanding and good comprehension, that is tawfiq from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, that depends on certain affairs. That tawfiq from Allah of what a person needs, number one, to attain good understanding, he needs to have sincerity. If he wants to have good understanding, a good comprehension, then you have to have what? Sincerity. Which will come as a result of it, Allah will give him tawfiq, where he will aid him, he will facilitate for him, and he will also what? He will lay it and make it easy for him. That's because you'll find in the ayah where Allah Ta'ala says in his book, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ وَيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. That Allah Ta'ala says in his book, we are not commanded except to worship Allah, making it sincere for him, the religion, hunafa, worshiping him alone and singling him out in his worship, and they establish Salah and pay Zakat, وَذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. Allah Ta'ala, why we mention this ayah, the Sheikh he mentions, he says, you will never be able to attain or actualize this understanding or this affair of having good comprehension and good understanding, except that you have to be sincere for Allah first. Sincerity for Allah Ta'ala. Having husn al-qasd, what you intend is something genuine, is something sincere. Something sincere. Did anybody have any water? And something sincere, or being sincere. For this to inheritance of this prophetic, honorable knowledge, no one will be able to be given tawfiq from Allah
except from the beginning, he has to be sincere for Allah Ta'ala, and he also likewise has to guard and protect the boundaries that Allah set in all of his circumstances, openly and secretly. For this tawfiq from Allah only comes through a way of ikhlas for Allah Ta'ala. And not only sincerity, but also likewise have a muraqabah of Allah Ta'ala. Muraqabah meaning watching what you do openly and secretly with Allah, which will come as a result of it, like we said, you will attain understanding and you will have good comprehension. And you will have that fahm that is on point. He says the great Imam Hamad ibn Salama, that the great scholar mentioned, who's Ibn Abdul Barr, in his book called Jami'u al-Ilm, Jami'u Bayan al-Ilm wa Fadli. Excuse me. In this book called Jami'u Bayan al-Ilm wa Fadli, the tremendous book by Ibn Abdul Barr. And it was also mentioned in the book called Al-Jami' li Akhlaq al-Rawi Adab al-Sami' by Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi. So it's mentioned in two books, this author on the authority of Hamad ibn Salama. Number one was Jami' Bayan al-Ilm wa Fadli by Ibn Abdul Barr, and also likewise Al-Jami' li Akhlaq al-Rawi wa Adab al-Sami' by Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi, that he mentioned this author on Hamad ibn Salama. Then he said, whoever seeks knowledge, then he says, and if he does it for other than Allah, he said, then he will be humiliated by it. Whoever seeks knowledge and he's seeking the face other than Allah, then he will be humiliated by it. There's also a narration on the authority of Darimi. The Imam al-Darimi mentioned the other one on Ibrahim al-Nakha'i, and also where he mentions, it says, he says, whoever seeks knowledge and he does it for the face of Allah, and he's seeking the face of Allah Ta'ala by it, he says Allah Ta'ala will aid him, and he will give him success, and he will inspire him to be guided, and he will inspire him to do what is correct, and he will inspire him with good comprehension, inspire him with good understanding. He will rectify the affairs of what? Of his understanding and his comprehension. It was a little bit of what I missed here also likewise. Also at the same time, following the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. While he's doing that, of course, and making it and being sincere for Allah Ta'ala in his worship. He says, which will come as a result of it, if he does this and carries out and actualizes all these matters, it will bring about good understanding about Allah. If he's sincere, guarding and protecting the boundaries that Allah has set, also seeking that knowledge for Allah, he says, in the end of the other, he says, this will bring forth and bring about understanding about his Lord. He says, Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi also mentioned this book he called Iqtida' al-Ilm al-Amal. There's a book by Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi, in which I think it was also checked by the great Imam Muhammad Nasiruddin al-Albani. It's a little book called Iqtida' al-Ilm al-Amal by the great Imam Muhammad Nasiruddin al-Albani. Where he's mentioned a statement, it is said, he said that actions is dependent upon knowledge. And he said, and knowledge is dependent upon sincerity. Actions is dependent upon knowledge. And actions is dependent upon knowledge. And knowledge is dependent upon sincerity. He says, and which will come as a result of it, that sincerity, it will bring about good understanding about Allah. And this is the end of what was mentioned in this book, rahimahullah, which shows the importance, the utmost importance of sincerity. In which a person, like we said, in all of his affairs, whether it be minor or small, which he relies on knowledge, and him, like we said, also him being sincere in all those affairs, whether they be small or whether they be minute, or big or small, or something that is tremendous or something that is a little bit. Also, likewise, understanding of ma'ashal ikhwa, he says, in order for one to understand, that comprehension and understanding is very important. Very, very important. As Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned in his book, I'lam al-Muwaqqi'een, Al-Rabb al-Alameen. As Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned in his book called I'lam al-Muwaqqi'een, Al-Rabb al-Alameen. That Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned in his book entitled, Those Who Co-Sign for Allah Ta'ala. That's the name of the book. I'lam al-Waqi'een, those who co-sign for Rabbul Alameen, who are the ulama. The ulama, when you give a fatwa, you co-sign it for Allah. He says, Sihat al-Fahm, he says the correctness of understanding and intentions. He said, listen to this, the correctness and the uprightness of one's understanding and his pure, genuine, sincere intention and his sincerity, he says, is the greatest blessing that Allah can bestow upon a slave. Good understanding, upright understanding, and good intention, and being sincere and genuine, he says, is the greatest blessing that Allah Ta'ala can bestow upon a slave after Islam. He says, rather, those two affairs, he says there's nothing more virtuous than that. What is correct? Rather, he said, Bel, they are saqa al-Islam. Rather, Ibn al-Qayyim says, he said they're the two legs of Islam. The saqa al-Islam. Or the saq. As we know, they're the shin. Saqa al-Islam. He says, why? Because by Islam is what is established. By them they what? They carried out. He says, and also by it, the slave is secure from the path in which Allah has become angry with them, and the path that Allah has described them as being astray, who are the Jews and the Christians. He says, because if you look at the two words, understanding and intention, he says, because you'll find that those who went astray in their understanding was the Christians until they went what? Until they became astray. So their lack of understanding was a result of them going astray and being described as wala-dhalin. He says, in contrast, and on the other side of the other sides of what we're saying is evil intentions and not being what? Sincere. He says, and you'll find that the result of it was the maghdubi alayhim, was those who Allah became angry with them, who were the Jews, which came as a result of it, Allah became angry with them because of what they intended of evil and what they wanted to carry out of evil and what they intended. He says, for when they went astray and corrupt in both of those matters, that's why Ibn al-Qayyim is saying that the most greatest of ni'am after Islam is to have good understanding and good intention. He says, by that, a person will become from those who are mun'am alayhim. You'll become from those, if you correct your understanding and attain the understanding, and also you have corrected your intention. When you have done this, he says, you will become from who Allah Ta'ala has mentioned in this book, where he says, from those who he has bestowed his blessing upon. He has bestowed his blessing upon, and he has bestowed his ni'mah and his blessings, and he has bestowed his ni'am, or he has bestowed, or which he described them, an'am alayhim. He has bestowed his what? His fudul, or his virtues, and his blessings upon them. To the end, what Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned is said. And this is something that we notice that we constantly ask Allah, and how many salats in a day? So many. We constantly ask Allah in every salat, so many times, begging Allah not to make us what? Like those who went astray, or those who his anger bestowed upon. Meaning, Also, likewise, what is implied to correct our understanding. And the only way you correct it is by what? Is by having the ilm, of course. And we know that the ilm relies on what? It's understanding. And understanding relies on what? Is ikhlas. He says we constantly ask Allah ta'ala in every salah, because what will come as a result if we do this, ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the correct path. Not like those who what? Went astray, nor like those who what? Your anger or your wrath became upon. Because if your understanding becomes correct, and what you intend becomes correct, he says, what will come as a result of it, like we said, he'll be amongst those who Allah has bestowed his blessing upon. He says, in regards to the people, in this understanding, not everybody is the same. Everybody is of different levels. As Ibn al-Qayyim also mentions, it says about this particular affair of everybody being of different levels. Not everybody's the same. He said people have to realize not everybody's on the same level. He says, for verily, this type of example is more that could be numerated or counted. He says even the ulama are not all equal in their knowledge. They're not equal, even though they all have ilm. He said the greatest example of that is when you look in the book of Allah Ta'ala. If you look in the book of Allah Ta'ala, what happened with what happened between Dawood and Sulaiman when they were judging in the harth, in the harvest. And we know that Dawood and Sulaiman were prophets. They were prophets and they were messengers. Tremendous people of high status and had tremendous knowledge. However, Allah Ta'ala pointed out that فَفَهَّمْنَاهُ Sulaiman. However, we gave the understanding in this regard to Sulaiman. Even though Dawood had ilm. So he said in this regard, this is a clear proof to show that not everybody's equal in ilm. Some people are what? Higher levels, and some people are what? A little bit less on different levels. He says, and if it wasn't the case that everybody was all equal, he said that would necessitate that all the ulama are equal. He said for that reason, and what we see in the story, what happened with Sulaiman, in regards to him judging in the harth, was a clear proof that the ulama are different in their understanding. He says you'll find that from the ulama who can allow, or when they read an ayah, they can extract one hukum. Then you can extract two. He says there's some that can extract more than that. He said there's some that can extract three. And there's some that can extract a whole lot. He says, and there's some that only just understand just the mere wording of it. He says, and there's some who Allah has blessed to the point where they can take an ayah, take another ayah, take one, and they can join it with the other, so you could come out with a hukum, so you can understand it properly. He says, which is an extra level upon just mere what? Just the mere wording. He says, however, this is something that is rare, which is a clear proof to show not everyone is on the same level in their understanding. He says, which is to show that this is something amazing in which Allah Ta'ala has made and given to certain people and bestowed in them certain types of understanding and making their levels diverse. So just to sum up what we mentioned, he says what will come as a result of an ilm. Knowledge in which the Messenger of Allah ﷺ had left. And also likewise the hadith of that we just mentioned. All of this is to go back and show and go back to the narration that we just mentioned a couple of minutes ago of the sunnah of the hadith of Muawiyah. That if Allah truly wants understanding for a person, He'll give him what? If He wants good for a person, then He will what? He will give him this type of understanding. He said, however, ya ma'ashal ikhwa, he said this affair needs what? Needs patience. You see, it needs jalad, it needs tahammul, it needs patience. It needs durability for one to be patient and to endure and have perseverance. He saw all these matters that we mentioned just in these type of matters. Sincerity, having patience upon seeking the knowledge, and then on top of that, like we said, enduring of the hardships that come along with it. As Imam Nawawi mentioned in his book, in his Majmu', in the Muqaddimah, that he mentioned and said, whoever becomes patient with knowledge, seeking it, and he's patient with all the hardships that comes in its road, he says he will enjoy and attain of prominence, and him being from the prominent, and also likewise the izzah of having that high honor in this world and in the hereafter. Whoever's, and the opposite is if he's not able to be patient with that, he's always complaining and he can't take nothing, he can't take it. He's a person that's not patient. He says he will remain in his age and in his life. He says, fi amayatil jahl. He will remain in the duration of his. He will remain in the duration or the remaining of his life in the blindness of ignorance. So, and everyone, just to conclude, their patience and seeking the ilm and having sincerity and all these matters that we just mentioned, it all needs what we just said, ya ma'ashal ikhwa, of knowledge and sincerity and all these other affairs, needs tawfiq from Allah ta'ala. And we ask Allah ta'ala to give us tawfiq in these matters. And then he concluded and sealed it off. Like I said, it was a couple of lines that I missed, but inshallah, I think about 80% of it. But inshallah, we'll take time to translate and make a tarjama madbuta, and I'll give it to the brothers a little bit later, inshallah. I only missed about a couple of lines, alhamdulillah. I didn't miss a couple, just to fill in the blanks. And inshallah, again, I'll give it to the brothers later. But that was the gist of what the Sheikh mentioned with Jazahullah khairan. No. Did everybody understand? I'm sorry, everyone. Did everybody understand? Was it clear? It was clear? Oh, alhamdulillah. Last thing, ya ma'ash al-ikhwa. And like I said, I don't really, as far as, I think everyone sees the masjid, alhamdulillah.